great way to win more sales is to build out features your market wants. The best way to do this is with a simple survey to your target audience. And you can easily do this yourself with a tool like Pullfish. Let me show you how. For this survey, we chose to use ChatGPT as an example. AI is a really hot space right now. They've got a bunch of competitors popping up. They're competing on different capabilities and features. So it's a good example for us to start with. So let me jump over to some of the results that we had initially. So we asked respondents, which features would you like to see in the future version of ChatGPT? And we gave them different options to choose from here. And you could see them laid out from left to right: proactive suggestion of questions and prompts, more catered response personalization based on the user, integration to third party tools that you already use, organized cited sources for response details, and lastly, fast and easy way to fine tune your model based on your own data. So you can see what takes the cake here is the proactive suggestion of questions, prompts, and topics. And these respondents were all selected based on their active use of ChatGPT thus far, which I'll dig into in just a moment. But first, I want to show you some of the ways that you can slice and dice this data. So I'm going to pull up one of the screening questions that I had here. First, I had one screening question, which I'll show you in the native dashboard, which weeded out those who actually knew what ChatGPT was. So you can see here we had 400 completes total, and we weeded out 4,756 that didn't know the proper name of ChatGPT. So sometimes I'll use a screening question that's sort of knowledge based to narrow down the audience that we're trying to target. And then secondly, I used another screening question that weeds down that audience even further based on what I want, but it also gave me quotas based around what I want. So the second question was, how frequently are you using ChatGPT? And I only allowed those who are actively using it in these different cohorts through. So again, we disqualified 554 more. And now let's look at that same question over here and slice it by this same question about features. So now we're taking people in different groups based on how frequently they use ChatGPT and asking them those same questions about features. So on the left here, you can see those who tried ChatGPT and gave up on it, those who are occasionally experimenting, those who are heavily experimenting with the tool, and then finally, those who are actively using ChatGPT in their projects right now. So by doing this, we can focus on different cohorts that we want to roll out features to. So in your case, or in ChatGPT's case, if you wanted to focus on your most active users, which is always a good idea, those who are paying, you're going to want to emphasize on the features that they're talking about. So those that are constantly using this for products or for projects already, they really want to see the proactive suggestion of questions and prompts and topics more than any other group, believe it or not. And they want to see more catered response personalization as well. What's interesting to note, and this is, this video is going to be obsolete in a few weeks just because there's so much competition constantly changing. Bing already has their version of search that's tied into AI search, as well as Google's going to do the same thing. And they're pushing to do organized cited sources because there's been rumors that that might be a really big thing that people want to lean on. But what you can see here in the data is those who are actively using this don't care as much about that as they do about these other things. So if OpenAI wanted to prioritize the feature, they might want to lean more heavily on this and less on this. Granted, they're in a unique situation because they've got the partnership with Microsoft ownership, so it might be a little different. But you can still see, how this could apply to your business if you wanted this to roll out features based on your power users. You can also see how you could use it to prevent churn. So if you wanted to say, okay, why are we having so much churn? Which features do we need to prevent that? You can look at this group over here. So these are those that tried ChatGPT and gave up on it. And you can see the majority of people are giving up simply because they don't feel like they're getting personalized responses back. What ChatGPT can do with this information is they can figure, okay, we need to do something about the product or the layout of the response formatting that's going to give users more personalization back. For instance, right now it's a blank prompt, so you can say how to do anything, how to ride a bike, for instance, and it's going to give you that response, but it's not going to be personalized because, quite frankly, I put a very broad prompt in. And that's part of the issue is, and people know that some people know that you need to put something very specific to get a more specific response, but a lot of people don't know that. And even the people that do, might have trouble getting the right prompting in to get the right answer back. So what could ChatGPT do to alter that experience? Well, maybe they could have some specific fields that they need to have entered. Maybe there's some initial data that they need up front that can be entered. Maybe there's a different way to do this other than just a straight prompt where you've got a blank slate to type into. So you can see how this can be useful for different types of feature prioritization, whether you're trying to retain your power users and get them to spend more, or whether you're trying to prevent churn and create a better acquisition for your business. Now let's jump back over to the native dashboard so we can analyze this a little bit further. Something I like to do is always ask open-ended questions from those same respondents. And here you can ask different things. So I asked, what is the most interesting thing you've done with ChatGPT? And you can see the responses in here are pretty interesting and pretty varied. And if you wanted to segment this by those who are power users or those who tried it and gave up on it, that could be really useful for your business depending on exactly what it is that you want to analyze. You can also ask other questions like what do you think can be improved in a totally open-ended format. That can be incredibly valuable as well. Ranking questions. This is another question we ask, similar to the same concept of the features, but more targeted towards what ChatGPT is doing. Please rank the following areas of AI by how they'd be useful to supporting your job duties: text, voice, audio, image, video, robotics. So for your business, what are those types of areas that you can ask for and get feedback on that could be beneficial? Anyways, so I hope this is kind of helpful to you. Pullfish is very fast and efficient at creating surveys that give you the feedback that you need. Feature prioritization is incredibly important for any business, no matter which space you're in, which industry you're in. All you got to do is go to pullfish.com and you can type in an initial question that you have, and our AI will draft a rough survey for you. And then you can take that into our survey builder, edit it as you need, target the specific consumers that you need to target, and get some really good qualitative data back, or quantitative and qualitative data back. And if you have questions about how to target, feel free to reach out to us. We've got a lot of different ways to target demographically, and we are heavy believers in using multiple screeners to select the specific behaviors and attitudes and opinions of people so that you can get that exact audience that you want. For instance, if you wanted to target people that have used specific products within the last 6 months, you can just ask that and narrow it down from there. So I hope this is helpful to you. Go to pullfish.com and give it a shot. Thank you.